What's really cool is that you get to launch products and announce products that you quite literally see a bunch of your friends end up using, right? If you have a circle of friends who are gamers as well, I hear my friends talking about, hey, have you seen this headset? I'm like, yeah, I worked on it. Yeah.
Hi, I'm SuiJeneris Chow, and I lead the global esports team here at Razer in Singapore, and I'm the director of global esports. And Razer is the leading lifestyle brand for gamers. And I work with athletes such as Faker, the greatest of all time, or GOAT as they would call it.
Give it up for Faker!
We have teams actually across the world, as well as local Singapore, such as Bleed Esports. So in Europe to APAC to the US, teams like Optic Gaming in North America. And I'm in charge of working with these teams, activating against all these amazing esports events and moments, and creating marketing proof points, as I like to say it, for all of our products, such as the Razer mice, keyboard, headset, and so on. One of the most memorable experiences working at Razer recently was when we worked here at the Singapore office to find who will be the face of the Viper VT Pro launch esports mouse. And that was athlete known by the name of Faker and Zekken in North America, who we took a bet on at an international competition, and he ended up winning the International Valorant Masters Madrid competition as the champion. So we were so happy when he won because he was the face of the mouse, and he was on the prototype mouse when he won. So when I was in the office, I was basically screaming on the top of my lungs when he won, and the entire team was like, oh my God, what's going on? What's the energy coming from? And that's because Zekken won and he was the champion of the event. And working at esports orgs helped me a lot actually, because people think esports is like one big thing, but it's a lot of communities, right? Esports is based on region and based on games. So by understanding that and also understanding the pros' competitive schedule, I'm able to better work with them on helping them work with Razer, because we need for them to take photo shoots and get like testimonials for our products. And we have to also work on activation ideas and marketing ideas. So me understanding how hard their competitive schedule is and how to work around that and how to empathize with them and how to plan honestly better, because we have so many marketing, we have a marketing timeline here at Razer, and we have to align it with the competitive schedule, right? There's seasons, there's international events. So that has helped me really understand both sides, because coming from the esports side and now working on the sponsorship side, basically really aligning up the marketing timeline with the esports schedule and then activating it together and then helping our teams, you know, be successful at not only promoting Razer, but we also promote the teams, right? And Razer cares. And even in Singapore, we have done R&D sessions where the Singaporean players would come to the Razer office and they would give us a lot of feedback about our products, what they like about it, what they don't like. And that's been very enjoyable to reconnect with the players, right? Because I was a player myself. I grew up in Honolulu, Hawaii, and which has very similar weather to Singapore, and that's why I love living here in Singapore. And I had 3 other brothers, and one of them was an identical twin brother, which I was extremely competitive with, and I had to beat in every game that I played, no matter what. And one game was Dragon Ball Z on Nintendo, and that was very competitive. And then the game that really ignited all of our competitive spirit was on the Nintendo 64, a game called GoldenEye 007. So a lot of people that grew up playing that game know exactly what I'm talking about. And we just played that all the time to compete and to see who was the best for the week or that weekend. And then from there, we actually moved to South Korea, over here on the side of Singapore. And I grew up there for 4 years, going to high school in South Korea. And we picked up a game called Starcraft. And Starcraft was the birth of today's modern day esports, where Koreans started filling up stadiums to watch other people compete and play Starcraft. So my brother and I would compete against each other, and also we would team up together and compete against other people in Korea to see who would be the best player at the PC cafes that they had there. So we would go PC cafe to PC cafe to see who would become the king of that neighborhood and PC cafe. And that was my first taste of modern day esports. I thought we were crazy back then, but I loved it. Going to high school in South Korea where I competed in StarCraft, I was obsessed with competition and that fed my competitive spirit. So I graduated first in my class and attended Cornell University in Ithaca, New York. And then from there, I was able to graduate and work, and I wanted to be a leader because of my experience in Korea and leading teams and winning competitively. I worked at Target as a GM and then went to Apple. So while working at Apple, they launched the iPhone 6 and a game called Vainglory was announced. And I started to play the game and suddenly I became top 10 player in the world because I was super competitive and always wanted to rank up. And from there, I started to form my own team and compete. So Hammers Esports was the team that I was a player and a co-founder of. And I competed, and I think one of the most amazing memories there was winning the championship. So we were the most winning team. Again, I was super competitive from my time in Korea. We were the most winning team for spring and fall, where we won every single tournament and championship. And I'll never forget when our team would raise the trophy on stage. And Razer actually sponsored us. And I remember talking to Razer, I was like, they're such a cool brand. They're from Singapore. You know, they have the coolest technology and branding and marketing that they do. Hi, I'm talking to Melvin here, and you're the global product manager for Headset Audio.
Yes.
So tell me more about that and what you do here.
Well, the role, I mean, as it sounds like, it's basically, us bringing to life a bunch of different products. So for me specifically, it would be gaming headsets that we bring to market. A lot of it being derived from the information and the understanding of gamers around the world. What we really try to do with every single product is to launch something that we know gamers will love. We have high standards for all of our gaming peripherals because we are the people that will use it. What's really cool is that you get to launch products and announce products that you'll quite literally see a bunch of your friends end up using. Right? If you have a circle of friends who are gamers as well, I hear my friends talking about, hey, have you seen this headset? I'm like, yeah. I worked on it. Yeah. So I think that's really cool.
Yeah, that's
because
really cool.
the things that we work on are things that we're really passionate about, and that we really make sure that even beyond gamers like us, we get it to the hands of the most demanding players out there. They are happy and fairly confident in the kind of products that we launch. Because the mice, the keyboards, the headsets, I think of it as an extension of the players themselves. You have the best gear out there to really give you the kind of performance that you expect for your competitive gaming sessions as well.
And with us today, we have an extremely special guest, Jeff Chow.
I was an esports caster for a lot of these titles. I got the chance and was selected to be the esports caster for the Asia Games 2018 in Jakarta, Palembang. They introduced esports as a demonstration medal event in the Asia Olympics. So that was awesome. And then my parents told me, okay, Jeff, what you're doing is really cool. You can continue to do esports. They wanted me to be a doctor and a lawyer. And once they saw me on TV at the Asia Games, like, wow, this is actually really cool stuff. So I'll never forget that moment. I think it's a highlight of my career. And then it led me to Singapore, where I was a caster for the PvP championships at the Suntec Exhibition Center in Singapore, where I met Min, the CEO of Razer as well. He was in the audience and observing the competition and the esports, and I was like, wow, the CEO of Razer is here, that's so cool. And I actually approached him. He was very intimidating, but I went up to him and introduced myself, and then we just connected over there. He followed me on Twitter, I followed him on Twitter, and then who would know, years later, I would then join Team Razer and come here to relocate to Singapore. If you think about gaming community, it's really a technology story. People think about gaming and they think about the basement person playing a video game by himself. That is no longer the case. Technology has enabled voice communication and multiplayer. There's in-game communication, and they have to talk to each other and they have to work together to outsmart their opponent. So that has made the entire experience around gaming to be more a focus on teamwork and community, right? And there's a lot of Discord servers as well. You can join servers, game servers, or community servers, or team servers, where you jump on the server and then you can talk to people on voice. These tools, right, around technology has made this digital experience around playing video games much more personal, honestly, where you connect, you make friends. A lot of people make friends through gaming now. They play together all the time. Think about it, you come home, and instead of going to the PC Cafe, I'm at home, jumping on Discord, playing with my friends, right? And that creates a lot of community, and you connect with people all over the world. And I think that has helped gaming become much more multiplayer, much more communicative. So esports is much more based on that. I think where I envision Singapore in the future is a hub of innovation. I think Singapore has some of the best world-class facilities. I think we're a perfect location to host a lot of these events that attract, thousands and thousands of fans and millions of viewers online. So I think Singapore and its infrastructure is the perfect place when it comes to these international esports events, right? And I think locally for Singapore, there's a lot of esports organizations that are making their name internationally, right? Like PRX, Team Flash is based in Singapore, lead esports as well. Very competitive, successful organizations that is putting Singapore's name on the map when it comes to esports, because Singapore has a lot of competition against the major regions. But I feel like Singapore, there's a lot of hope and there's a lot of talent proving themselves on the stage. And I think the future is very bright for Singapore and Singaporeans who compete, follow esports here.